What are your fondest memories, musical memories, from your youth?
From my youth, there's a bunch of them. One of them has to be listening to Parliament Funkadelic in my father's Buick when my brother was driving 100 miles an hour and making the car bounce with the old, you know, and he used to always tell me, if you ever gonna get into music, study Funkadelic because they have, you know, the blues, the gospel, the jazz, the R&B, the funk, the rock, they had it all. And that's what he was, you know, really trying to put me on to. Little did he know that that was really going to be a part of my tutelage, you know, as a youngin'.
Yeah, that you would actually be playing.
Mm-hmm. And I also remember, and actually, you know, I had a chance to introduce my brother to George Clinton. I thought that was awesome. It was like 360, you know what I mean? How something comes back around. And then there was a time when I was in Miss Meacham's piano class, not learning a damn thing. And I was like, this woman can't play piano, but she's trying to teach me piano.
Right.
Yeah, so, you know, the good and the bad, you know, went with the childhood musical upbringing.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you. How do you mean when you say that your music is revolutionary?
Well, in soul music, in the culture and the history of soul, our music spoke to us culturally. In 2000 New Millennium music business, soul music does not have is not the necessary place in our culture that it used to be. It used to be, we need to hear this song. We need to hear these artists. Now it's more about, you know, if they're charting, or if it's hot enough, or if you killed enough niggas in your song, or if you smacked enough hoes, or whatever it may be, or if you fly it in the sky, you know what I mean? Right. So things that are real, more physiological, necessary for us as to sustain ourselves as human beings and as a culture, especially a soulful culture. The music is not finding its way to the people like it used to. So I consider my effort a bit more revolutionary. I am reacting to a situation that tells me that we need our soldiers out there and on the airwaves and on the corner and on the stages and doing the roadie and the mixing and the tech work. Yes. We need to be in all these places because one, they're economic opportunities, and two, the message is deeply embedded in the music. So it's coming from my spirit, and I need people to hear it so they can, you know, hopefully benefit from this work.
Oh, most definitely. My babies, I have children, 9 and 12. They said that you remind them of Bob Marley.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's all right. That'll work
awesome.
then. So I had to ask that question.
That's awesome.
Now, you play church music.
Yeah.
You can hear church music.
Oh, yeah.
In your music right now, but you also play diverse music. So
yes.
Moving from church, let's say, to rock.
Okay.
Is that really a difficult leap for you?
Not for me. You know, again, starting with the funkadelic roots, and then listening to the forefathers of what is called rock and roll. Being that the blues and the gospel were the same chords. I learned the gospel by going to church and going to choir rehearsal and being around some of the great, you know, gospel practitioners of the early, you know, the 70s and the 80s. You know, they was really putting it in back then. They still do now. Back then, there wasn't no BET, it wasn't no big records putting out. It was just, you had to go see these people perform. So, you know, everybody got touched in the room. It wasn't a dry eye in the whole auditorium. Now, with rock and roll, I do my research and I find out that a lot of the great rock and roll artists got their start or their inspiration from the great blues artists. And the blues and the gospel use the same chords. Right, Muddy Waters, Led Zeppelin. You know, Jimi Hendrix is an amalgamation of Albert King, T-Bone Walker, Muddy Waters, you know. And there's so many people, Hendrix just ignited once he touched the instrument, you know. So yeah, I know the connection, you know, it's historical as well as music. So it wasn't a leap for me at all. It was like, oh, this is all us, let's get it. So when I come to the stage, you know, I'm just exercising. You know, not demons, angels, you know, the ancestors. Let them come through.